A sweet genius masters the exact science of desserts with limitless imagination. The result? Magical, edible art. I'm on a mission to find chefs who share my obsession with perfection. 4 chefs will strive to see who can make the most amazing desserts possible. Hot, 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 hot. To assess the dessert IQs, I have designed 3 diabolical tests to see who truly belongs in my world of desserts. Be inspired by the bewildering objects I have selected.
Oh my God.
Be astonishingly creative with the mandatory ingredients I have chosen.
Ostrich eggs? Oh.
Only one chef will surpass them all and earn $10,000. I am a sweet genius. Are you?
I'm Chad Durkin. I'm only 27, and I am a machine. Yeah. I am an executive pastry chef and have been for about 10 years. I produce high-end products for hotels, casinos, country clubs, airlines, supermarkets. I do 20 wedding cakes a weekend, and I'm trained to work days without sleep and food and water. It just feeds the adrenaline in me. I did my first competition in high school, and I've never stopped competing. I compete to win, so that's kind of what I'm gonna do.
I'm Melissa Miller. I am the pastry chef at Zoe's Cupcake Cafe in Teaneck. I was an opera singer growing up. I was on the stage every moment. When I was in college for music, I made the hardest decision of my life, and I changed careers. I am competing today to prove that I did make the right decision and to challenge myself. When I send a dessert out in a restaurant, it's like performing. It's like going on stage and having the curtain come up. My philosophy, do what makes your heart sing and you will be a sweet genius.
My name is Amos Hayun. Pastry is my passion. I learn what I know by myself. I'm different. I'm crazy in the kitchen. I'm artist. I left Israel 2 years ago and I came to New York to build my career. I want to prove to my family and I can do this. For me, sweet genius is how you put your soul in a dessert. I'm sweet and I'm a genius.
My name is Victor Dell'Aquila and I'm an old school pastry chef with a modern edge. I've trained in Italy and I worked at some of the best restaurants in New York City. Now I consult with food manufacturers on how to mass produce fantastic desserts. I want to win this competition for personal pride. Life is nothing without experiences, good or bad. I'm prepared to bring my A game against the young cats.
The search for the sweet genius begins. Chef Ron Ben Israel.
Ron is an amazing pastry chef. I definitely really want to impress him.
Is that smile? I'm scared.
Chefs, there will be 3 tests: frozen, baked, and chocolate. Each will have mandatory ingredients and an inspiration. Your dessert must incorporate these elements.
You all have proven expertise in desserts, but I'm looking for that spark of pure genius that sets one of you apart. First, you will have 40 minutes to make me a frozen dessert.
I make plethoras of ice cream and sorbets. I'm pumped. I'm ready to rock and roll.
And I've wickedly calculated the variables. Salt and vinegar potato chips. That ingredient is mandatory for the first test.
These chips are produced by immersing sliced potatoes in vinegar prior to frying and salting. Like all chips, they become soggy if exposed to moisture.
And what else is there coming your way? Sexy high heels, the object of sweet inspiration.
High heels give the illusion of longer, more shapely legs and have been associated with leisure, sophistication, and sexuality throughout modern times.
I'm thinking, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
You will have 40 minutes for this test.
Start the clock.
repeat all the time. It's like my blood, you know, it makes me motivated. Potato chips was the ingredient, so I thought, well, potato chip streusel. It adds texture, it looks kind of pretty. Because it is frozen dessert, I want to make this light. I'm going to make a pear sorbet. That's going to be on top of the streusel. To be a sweet genius, you have to have education, knowledge, technique. That's what I'm good at. I am a master of this trait. Behind, coming around.
China's like me 20 years ago. Hungry, aggressive. What I am going for is to be more elegant, more mature, which is what I am. I see the high heel shoes, so I think I want to do something in the fashion world. So I'm making a chiffon ice cream. In culinary terms, a chiffon is when you fold in meringue to lighten something. But when I see the potato chips, I'm thinking the crunchy element. I want to make a caramel, salt and vinegar potato chips.
Think about the concept of high heel shoes. It's an idea, not just a shape.
Measuring cups. I am running around, I'm frantic. Flour. I'm up against 3 other people to prove I know what I'm doing. I wanted to do a baked item to present a couple different techniques. I'm gonna make a vanilla potato chip cake layered with vanilla ice cream. I can use these chips to give it great texture. I want the cake to resemble the sole of a shoe. Hopefully it pays off.
High heels is like shoes for drag queen. I think I make a very sexy dessert for Ron. Sweet potato ice cream, perfect. I boil the heavy cream and the milk. I chop the sweet potato. It's different. I take a big risk. And then I see the potato chips too salty, so I mix with the dark chocolate. And I think it's art, sexy, it's genius.
Chefs, keep in mind, you'll never know until you know how many wicked ingredients I might send your way. Be ready to adjust anytime.
I'm doing multiple components. I'm pushing myself, so I'm going to use a shot glass with a pear puree cordial to give me that shape, that flow to make the high heel. I am hoping Chef Ram sees the techniques that I put forward.
I'm looking for parchment paper now because one of the things that I wanted to do was a chocolate decoration. And a chocolate decoration is going to elevate my dessert. Again, we're talking about luxury, we're talking about fashion. Unfortunately, there's no baker's parchment to be found. I'll just use this. I grabbed the first piece of paper that came to my hand, which happened to be my second piece of sketch paper.
I needed parchment paper. Where would I find it? Is there any
Couldn't find that. You know what I used? My sketch paper.
Thanks, Chef. I appreciate it. Victor knows his stuff. He gets what it is to be a good chef. I think the thing that goes against him is being an older gentleman and not having the speed and intensity that you need in order to do a timed competition. I'm trying to get the dessert to look like the heel, so I was like, need to be literal. Well, I'm a really good freehand piper. Pipe 2 high heels, no problem. Dust them with gold, it's exactly what it is.
You know what that means.
Oh, no.
Look to see what special ingredient you must include in your desserts now.
Oh, God.
What do we have here?
A block of brie.
Produced from aged cow's milk, brie has a rich, pungent flavor considered an ideal accompaniment to fruit.
Brie is going to be tough.
I already started making an ice cream base, so now the brie's here. My idea is put it into my ice cream base. Brie is not pungent as a lot of other cheeses. It would give it like a silky texture.
Thing's so tall. Oh my God.
I was like, how am I going to work a savory element into my sweet dessert? But because it's very creamy and it's not too heavily cheesy, it's a no-brainer. It's got to go into the ice cream base. Put this in and cook it a little bit. So I incorporate that and really emulsify that cheese into my milk.
Brie cheese. Perfect. I did pear. What a great combination. I was like, I win. My plan was to make an additional frozen component with the pear sorbet because I wanted to show texture and skill. You know, I wanted to show layering. Brie vanilla ice cream it is. Brie cheese ice cream with vanilla bean.
knew it. All the chef is going to make brie cheese ice cream. So I want to be different. So I put some sugar in a tub and I torch. So it's like brulee, it's crispy, it's good ice cream.
I'm looking around right now for another aspect towards my dessert. And I passed the shelf with some caramel syrup already in a jar. Goes great with the saltiness of the chips. I figure it's on the shelf, I can use it, right?
I want to make a caramel that's going to be strong and flavorful to stand up to the salt and the vinegar and the chip. So I take a saute pan, put it on full heat, and I put some super fine sugar in until I start to see the smoke. I then totally enroll the chips in my caramel. It is really important for me to win the competition, to prove that I could still compete with guys and gals who are a lot younger.
Hop behind, hop behind, hot behind, hop behind.
I heard Chef Chad say, behind you, behind you. In a professional kitchen, those are the guys you want to stay away from.
That's the last components. Well, I have extra pear puree. Let me make a pear shot. Flavors are very important to Chef Rum, so I spliced that with a little orange liqueur to kind of add depth. Perfect.
I love cotton candy. And it looks to me like the air for the drag queen. Very big, pink.
Maybe you want some?
Oh, yeah.
I'm making crust with the potato chips. The brie is going in the middle. I put the dessert in a jar because I love sharing food.
I look over and Amos put everything he made into a jar. It looked like some science experiment. I just didn't get it.
I think it's amazing, it's art.
This is your 2-minute warning.
I need a foam for my dish. It's going to add height to look like the high heel shoes. I need to stabilize it, but I don't have time. I hope Chef Ron will get to judge it before the foam breaks down.
Ice cream scooper? Time is ticking. I need to get the ice cream out now. I don't have a spatula, so I improvise with my hands.
Only 1 minute to go.
Oh my God, it's looking great.
Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. That is it.
Just made it.
I feel good. I feel good. I feel confident. Amos's dessert, it looked like grandma's porridge with a giant afro on top. I was like, ooh.
So I'm walking up to the steps to Ron, and my heart is in my throat, just holding my breath, waiting to hear what he's gonna say.
The ingredients for your frozen dessert: salt and vinegar potato chips and brie cheese. The inspiration: high heels.
Chef Melissa.
I made a potato chip cake to resemble the sole of a shoe. I made a really beautiful brie ice cream to go in the middle.
Pleasant, silky, with just a whiff of cheese. The cake, crunchy, plain. Did you make caramel?
No, there was a caramel bourbon glaze that I used.
Caramel is not that difficult to make.
Well, I did bake the cake, and that was a big element that I needed to focus on to create my vision.
Indeed, you spent time making the cake.
Yes.
This is the frozen challenge. I will consider your dessert. Chef Chad.
I wanted to create something with balance, and I feel like high heel shoes, you need a lot of balance in order to do it. It's a pear and orange liqueur sorbet, the brie and vanilla bean ice cream, and under that is a salt and vinegar potato chip streusel.
Elegance. Provocative. Potato chips. Undiscernible. I can taste the brie. It goes well with the pears. I don't taste vinegar and the salt. I wish there was more. Chef Victor, tell me what you've made for me.
Well, my inspiration was the fashion industry as a whole. There is a chiffon ice cream with brie and vanilla. In addition, I topped it with a foam of creme anglaise.
It's not too sweet, but it is eggy. I taste raw eggs, and your foam has deflated. Frozen desserts are all about texture. You needed some kind of stabilizer.
Yes.
It ended up being a soup. Chef Amos, what does a high heel shoe mean to you in this dessert?
These shoes look like drag queen shoes. So this look like the hair for the drag queen.
The ice cream?
Sweet potato.
Playful. Unusual. You're the only chef in this test that did not make a brie ice cream. But this is huge.
This is a shared dessert, okay?
It's messy. You have good ideas and some ideas that did not work. Chefs, I gave you 40 minutes to show me who just might have the capacity for genius. One of you did not demonstrate this kind of promise. Chef Melissa, you created a pleasant brie ice cream, but your main component was a cake. I doubt whether you put your hardest effort into the frozen element. Chef Victor, you attempted to make foam in a siphon without a stabilizer. That resulted in a very flat substance. Ultimately, it did not translate to the plate. Chef Victor, in that test, you were no sweet genius.
Thank you, Chef. When I left, I didn't think I would take it as hard as I did, but it definitely hurt. When you kind of open yourself up and then you're judged on it, it kind of makes you fall back into your shell.
Three of you have persevered to face the second test. You will get 50 minutes to bake me a stunning and delicious baked dessert.
Baking is hard for me because after put this in the oven, you can fix this flavor, this dot.
And what ingredient do I have for you here? Bubblegum.
Made from synthetic rubber and flavorings, bubblegum softens but will not dissolve when chewed and becomes inflexible when chilled.
Bubblegum. I've never worked with it before, so I have no idea what it's going to do to any of my recipes.
Inspired by a turtle. Genius.
What?
The sea turtle, one of the most ancient reptiles on Earth, is a symbol of longevity and wisdom. You will have 50 minutes for this test.
Start the clock.
Bubblegum. I'm like, how can I make anything delicious with bubblegum? gum is texturally chewy. I'm going to incorporate the flavor, but make something creamy. I melt it in the heavy cream, strain it out, and I proceed to make bubblegum creme brulee. I want to make the inspiration literal and show new techniques. So I'm going to make the whole turtle and then have the turtle on top of the creme brulee.
Why so high?
I wanted to do a cupcake because they're very trendy right now. When I'm looking at this sculpture, I'm thinking about all the colors on a beach. The reds, the pinks, the colors in the sky. My strategy is to incorporate the bubblegum syrup into a beautiful meringue type icing. I think it would be really fluffy and visual.
I come to New York to build my life. I have nothing now. It's not easy for me. I need the money.
Who wants to walk away with $10,000? Show me.
Bubblegum. I love, but for pastry, nobody wants to eat this in cake. So I want to make baklava with amazing bubblegum ice cream. The filo dough is crunchy like the turtle shell. But the texture for the bubblegum is like very chewy. So I put the bubblegum with the heavy cream and the milk. It give a lot flavor.
Surprise! A very nice ingredient is coming your way. But will it work nicely with your dessert? Rainbow carrots.
Oh, my lordy.
Rainbow carrots derive their vivid colors from 419 different phytochemicals. Steaming brings out their natural sweetness, while dry heat cooking results in a sharper flavor.
As soon as I saw the carrots, I want to put them in the cake because I know that they're going to work. So now I'm going to make carrot lemon thyme cupcake with a bubblegum icing with caramelized rainbow carrots on the side.
The carrots came out like bubblegum and carrots. I would never do that combination. Ugh. And I'm like thinking, I gotta keep them on a separate plate. Bam, inspiration comes in. I'll use it as sea kelp, the turtle's food. Salt, 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 salt. I am also making a passion fruit crumble. The carrots will go on top of that. I'm a sweet genius because I'm doing multiple components. I'm doing a lot of flavors. I'm pushing skills, showing techniques. This dessert is going to put me above the rest. I start the sugar turtle. I cooked it to 155 degrees Celsius, which I could tell by the bubble. Poured it out, and then I started kneading air into it to make it beautiful.
The flavor with carrots and the flavor with pear work well. I put the filo dough in the oven. I make a lot baklava before. I know what to do.
If I do win, I think it would prove to my father that I did make the right decision by putting my music career on the side. So I'm cooking my sugar for my meringue icing.
Thermometers?
And I can't find a candy thermometer.
Or not?
I'm running all over. So I decided to wing it and see if I could get it right, what temperature the sugar was to add it to my whipping whites. Unfortunately, I didn't guess right. My meringue now has just fallen. It's just turning into a disaster. I need to go to plan B.
5 minutes, chefs. 5 minutes left.
I am struggling a little bit to keep the shine while getting the shape. I'm trying my best to cut it clean so it will sit on top of the ramekin and then make the legs as fast as I can.
Can't forget the turtle's tail.
The filo dough in the oven, the color is nice. I start to organize my plate.
Because I messed up my meringue, I gotta figure out something else for my icing. Mascarpone's gonna have to work. I hope I don't blow this.
Hurry up, chefs. 15 seconds.
I'm running out of time and I plate the slaw on the wrong dish.
3, 2, 1.
Creme brulee, slaw, turtle.
Time is up. That is it.
I feel a little disappointed in myself that I made a dumb error. The slaw should have been with the passion fruit. I am hoping Chef Ram doesn't think it's disgusting.
The ingredients for your baked dessert: bubblegum, and rainbow carrots. The inspiration? A sea turtle.
Chefs, let us find out who passed my second test. Chef Amos, you're first.
I made baklava with bubblegum ice cream.
I'm going to try your ice cream first. Fun.
Yeah.
Festive. Where were the carrots?
The caramelized pear and carrot is inside.
Delicious. The turtle. Inspiration?
The fillet is like shell.
I see. Undercooked. Do you think you pull it out too soon?
No. It's perfect. I like for the carrot and the pear is like al dente.
Al dente is nice,
Yeah.
but not for filo dough. Chef Amos, you think of yourself as a genius?
Yeah. It's genius. It's very genius.
A genius learns all the time. Because you added carrots, which have high moisture content, the center did not bake enough. Chef Melissa,
I made a carrot lemon thyme cupcake with mascarpone bubblegum icing.
inspiration?
When I saw the turtle, it made me think of a beach, that sunset. You know, the reds, the pinks.
Sugary, girly, cloying. 2 carrots. The addition of thyme made them more earthy. I was pleased with that.
Thank you, Chef.
You were able to switch your plan and you include the carrots in your baked dessert. However, the inspiration signifies thought, longevity, grace. You serve me a cupcake. The cupcake is too temporary, too childish. And the wrapper. Chef Chad, should I start with the turtle?
Yeah, it's thin enough that you can actually break the turtle. At least you have some fun, right? Inside is actually a carrot cucumber slaw with a hint of mint and then a bubblegum creme brulee and a passion fruit crisp.
Your bubblegum creme brulee is a fantastic surprise. It's mellow, creamy, hidden underneath a shell of hard, crackling sugar. However, once I got to the carrot, it was a mess. How do the strands of carrots and cucumber and mint go with bubblegum?
Of course, I mean, carrots don't mesh well with bubblegum. I'm not gonna tell them I messed up. I tasted all the ingredients. I think it was good and it tasted fine.
Do you think it was a good combination?
I think all the flavors overall on the plate, yes.
Indeed, someone has failed this second test and has to go. Chefs, I do not yet know which one of you is going to be a sweet genius, but I know for sure who is not.
I am nervous. If I get moved on to the next round, I will make a dessert that is going to blow his socks off.
Chef Amos? You stay. Chef Melissa, your flavors and interpretation of the inspiration, lacking. Chef Chad, I challenge your flavor combinations. In that test, Chef Melissa, You were no sweet genius.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. It was such a pleasure to meet you finally. You know, I'm proud of what I did, and I still totally proved to my family that this was the right decision for me. I just don't understand why Chad gets to move on with his vegetable creme brulee.
Chef Chad, Chef Amos, which one of you will claim the title of Sweet Genius?
I will, Chef.
Okay, now is me or Chad. This scares me because Chad know a lot techniques.
You will have 60 minutes for the final test. Chocolate desserts. Chocolate is a precise craft that every pastry chef must master in order to be deemed a genius. I'm sending you a mandatory ingredient. Candied apples.
The candy coating made of sugar, corn syrup, and food coloring is cooked at a temperature of 290 degrees Fahrenheit and remains hard until exposed to liquid or heat.
I think, okay, I'm gonna need to achieve that apple flavor because the chocolate's gonna mask it.
Your final desserts must be inspired by Masquerade Mask.
First worn during carnival celebrations in medieval Europe, these masks were decorated with sumptuous jewels and exotic feathers favored by aristocrats.
Find the inspiration hidden behind this mask.
You will have 60 minutes for this test.
Start the clock.
The candy apple is very sweet, it's very heavy. I don't like this at all. But the mask, this perfect what I need now. I am going to make spice wine chocolate fondue with white chocolate bonbon, very rich, very sexy.
The things I'm reminded of when I see a masquerade mask, New Orleans and all that, Carnival and things like that. So I decided to make the traditional style decadence tour. It is pretty much like a flourless chocolate cake. It's almost like a chocolate custard. It is the epitome of chocolate dessert. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the candied apple juice in it and put the rest into a candied apple gelée. It's final round, just me and Amos. My whole idea is to use chocolate in every possible form. It's a little risky, but I want to do it right.
I'm looking for well-tempered chocolate with sheen and snap. Give me the passion of chocolate.
Cardamom, chili, rosemary, anise star. All this flavor is Middle East flavor, is my home. I put the spices in a wine and I boil the apple candy so it's come soft and I put the chocolate inside.
Chef Amos, what's in the pot?
Is wine, spices and the apple. Chad work all day with chocolate and is know chocolate very well. I learned all the techniques by myself. I think maybe I'm not good enough. I need to prove I can do this.
I take popcorn, hazelnuts, and hazelnut flour, a little butter, a little sugar, make a crust for this chocolate cake, which is so thick and decadent, and then right to the oven. So immediately I need to set that gelée. I take the candied apple, measure it out, melt the gelatin, emulsify it into the puree, set it in the freezer. Done. I have 7 gold medals in certified competitions, but I've never been tested this way. I just need to make sure everything's tight, everything's clean. I want to be certified as a master chef. That's why I do a lot of these competitions, because I'm building myself.
Here we go again, chefs. What could the new mandatory ingredient be? Will it throw your plans off? I sure hope not.
Neither do I.
What could the new mandatory ingredient be? Wheatgrass.
This grass acquires a strong bitter flavour if allowed to grow long. In juice form, it is best consumed in combination with natural sweeteners such as carrot, orange and banana.
It tastes like grass. Why people eat this?
I've worked with wheatgrass 3 times maybe. I know it's very grassy. I need to emulsify it somehow. So I think I'm gonna make a chocolate consomme and use that as my steeping agent. It's very subtle and it's a good contrast against that heavy, decadent dessert and that candied apple flavor.
I have the bonbon chocolate in a freezer and I'm not put the filling yet. So I think, okay, I take the white chocolate, I mix with the grass. I put this inside the bonbon. My bonbons is the big test because if this not come out, I must stop everything.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I probably have this in the bag, but I think it needs something else. I think it's time for a nice warm item. It's Mardi Gras. It needs a beignet. And I make my beignet batter, which is a basic cake batter. Make wheatgrass chocolate ganache, and take the ganache, dip it in the batter, drop it in the oil, and it creates these bite-sized molten lava cakes, which, I mean, who doesn't love that? So I just want to keep them warm, so I put them in the oven.
Chefs, this is your 5-minute warning.
So all the plate, and I think it's too small for me. The big marble is like a big canvas so I can do my art.
Only 2 minutes left.
I really need to make sure that I am very literal with the inspiration, so I'm gonna make a chocolate mask.
I need more something. So I take all the bonbon out and I blow color. Now is perfect, like the mask.
I see bonbons, I see chocolate, I see sugar work. I'm very encouraged.
Final detail with 2 loops, red and yellow, like streamers.
Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7.
I really need to make sure the plating is perfect.
4, 3, 2, 1. That is it, chefs. Step away from the plates.
The timer goes off, everything's on there except the beignet. The one element that really was true and dear to me. I left it in the oven.
The ingredients for your chocolate dessert: candy apples and wheatgrass. The inspiration: a masquerade mask.
Chef Chad.
Well, from the top, there's the chocolate mask, milk chocolate ice cream, then a chocolate decadence torte with candied apple gelée, sits into a wheatgrass and chocolate consomme.
That is an impressive chocolate presentation.
And it would have had a wheatgrass chocolate beignet, but I forgot it.
I would have loved to try those deep-fried beignets. The chocolate cake, it's extremely decadent. It's something unexpected.
It's the puree of the candied apple.
That is sublime. Consommé, grassy. The gelée is also the candied apple?
Yes, correct.
Complex, yet a bit gummy. You had so many different projects going on at the same time. Were you overly ambitious?
Oh, probably, yeah.
The child try to do too many stuff is not genius dessert.
Chef Amos.
Yeah, it's masquerade, party. So I make red wine with spices. I use the candy apple in a chocolate.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Very sexy.
Thank you.
This is not your usual fondue dish.
Thank you, chef.
Where is your wheatgrass?
I put the grass inside the bonbon.
Wow. Unusual. Alive. I know it is difficult to create the perfect bonbons with no air bubbles, with a perfect temper. Good temper.
Yeah.
However, a lot of the elements on your plate are ready-made. Strawberry, pineapple, lychee, that were not transformed by you as a chef.
Amos's dish, it doesn't scream masquerade. No, it screams, fondue party.
Both of you are fine chefs, but I can only choose one.
I take a lot of risk. I can't lose because of this fruit.
When I think genius, I think a dude in his lab, smoking elixirs and knowledge, like just knowing everything. And I feel like I possess that.
Chef Chad, in that test, you were no sweet genius.
Okay. Thank you, Chef. I appreciate the opportunity. Congrats. Thanks. I'm disappointed in myself because I left a component out and it was sloppy, but I cooked it like it was my last. And it just didn't, I guess, come through. It didn't transcend.
Chef Amos, you are a sweet genius, like me. Your food was extraordinary, your attitude was amazing. When I look at your work, I have the sense that you are a mad artist. You belong in my world of desserts. And you have just won $10,000.
Thank you. This feels amazing to be a sweet genius. I'm very, very excited. I work very hard for this moment. Today I prove myself I'm good. I win.